Hey there, and thanks for your interest in this role. Now, this role is for the Accent Group, and I was lucky enough yesterday to speak with Casey Heathcote, who is the Group General Manager of Digital and Loyalty. Now, if you haven't heard of the Accent Group, they are behind some of the biggest footwear retail brands in Australia, including Hype DC, The Athlete's Foot, Merrell, Caterpillar, Style Runner. The list goes on and on. Doc Martens. Check them out. Now, they do over $1 billion worth of sales every year, 21% of that, which is online. They also have over 8 million records, customer records, available to speak to directly. So they've done an incredible job in online and in terms of customer data. So I'm going to throw to Casey to give you a little bit of behind the scenes on what life at Accent Group is like, and then I'll be back to tell you why we think this is a really exciting opportunity. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to give our candidates a little bit of a behind the curtains look at what's going on at Accent Group. Before we start, can you just give us a little bit of an overview on your role there and what you do in the business?
Sure. So I am the Group General Manager of Digital and Loyalty. I have been in the business for about 5 years, and in that 5 years, we've really established what is the digital business within Accent Group. So it started with a handful of sites and around a team of about 10 or 15 people. And my first year there, we did about $20 million in revenue. And I thought that was bloody amazing. Like I was actually blown away at the end of that first financial year. And anyway, it's been a ride. It's been a real ride. Last year we finished on about 220 million in revenue. So in that 5 years, it's grown astronomically. We've now got a team of about 66 people in the digital team, and that's largely sort of grown out with the number of sites that we have. So we have around 23 trading websites at the moment. Then we brought in-house all of our digital and performance marketing teams, and we've grown out sort of this digital center of excellence when it comes to digital marketing. And then the last 12 to 18 months has really been about CRM and loyalty. And we now have a team of about 8 people in that CRM and loyalty team. And we've been rolling out a number of loyalty programs over the last few years. So it has been a ride. It's a big team. I love the business. I love the team, and I love what we do. It's pretty fast paced, but it's genuinely a really enjoyable workplace. Really good people. We only hire good people. Only nice people can work for Accent Group, and we have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with that incredible growth, what keeps you getting out of bed and being excited after 5 years in the role when you're achieving things every year at phenomenal levels? What drives you in the business?
People. I'm very much a people person. The talent, the energy that we bring into the team, the knowledge, like I am blown away all of the time by what new knowledge people bring into the team, the ideas that people come up with. I really am energized by all of that, those things that people table with me, the opportunities that we can see, and the opportunities really are quite endless. It's just sort of picking off the biggest ones first, and going after them. So knowing that there's always opportunity, there's always new ideas, always new space to push into. That's really energizing. And I think the other thing is that at Accent, we're very blessed to have the support of the executive team and the board. They're very, very supportive of all things digital. They talk about being a digital first business. I quite often get asked, what do you need? What else do you want? How many more people can you hire? The different story when it comes to me showing them the P&L, but anyway, That's okay. But it's I would say there's an aggressive growth charge coming from the top, and really from the people, the groundswell that we have within the team. Everyone is really growth focused.
Yeah. And it stands out to me is that when you hear people like yourself talking, and also Daniel, the CEO, that it is a truly omni-channel approach, is that
Mm.
digital doesn't sit over here by itself. You are all working together to one goal. Is that a fair assumption?
It is, yeah, it is. And particularly in times like this, I think that the importance of digital has really shone through and people have embraced it and they've started to listen and to understand and want to know more. So I've never had so many people be interested in how do we grow digital sales this week, Casey, because we've got all of our stores closed. So yeah, no, it is. And, I think it's a very collaborative business too. We did actually set up a digital hub, a centre of excellence that sits outside of the regular main office in Accent, and that's been great from a digital culture perspective. There was a point in time where there was a little bit of a barrier, I suppose,
Yep.
or a two worlds place. But especially over the last 18 months, that's really sort of dissipated, and we look for growth anywhere. So, and digital's delivering. So.
It was fascinating. I was lucky enough to go on a tour through the digital space. Ben took me through when I was last in Melbourne before lockdown. And what stood out to me is that you've got all these different brands and products, but coming together in this one space to share knowledge and experience across brands. It was just a really awesome setup and a great energy in there.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing that actually attracted me to working at Accent to begin with. I had been working in the digital space. I started at General Pants and then I moved over to Luxottica, and I was always the subject matter expert when it came to digital. And when I looked at the opportunity at Accent, I realized very quickly that I was going to be surrounded by other digital experts and I would get to learn from them. So you're sitting side by side with people who are, you've got the same amount of experience, responsible for something different, and you're sharing ideas, and that just really helps propel that growth. So yeah, it is. There's a really good energy there. And I think as well, probably adding to that, like that cross-discipline sharing, like a digital marketing person sharing with eCommerce, sharing with CRM, and actually getting into each other's worlds and understanding how it all comes together. That's been fantastic over there.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned earlier is that we only have friendly people at Accent Group, which I love is a fantastic kind of qualifier to start with. What other attributes of people do you look for when joining the Accent team?
Humility is also important. Like it really is a no ego business. It's about sort of being down to earth, having good energy, being kind, hardworking. You're responsible for delivering too. So I think it is somebody who is hungry, who wants to grow themselves. I think probably the other thing I would add is like that sense of personal responsibility. Like I have all of these opportunities. It's for me to take on that opportunity, for me to grow into that space. It's not something that I expect you to do. I will give everyone as much rope as they want. It's all yours. It's there for the taking. Like there are no boundaries really. So you've got to have that motivation to grow into that space though.
That's a pretty incredible brief. Yeah.
Um,
Now, you mentioned before that you've got the full support of the executive team and you have some exciting things on the roadmap. Obviously, you're a public company, so we can't give away too much on video, but are you able to give us a hint of where your focus lies for the next 12 months?
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to eCommerce, we're in a phase of replatforming. Again, it's like the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Yeah.
We have 23 sites, as I said. So we're replatforming a whole lot of those. We're opening a whole lot of new sites going into New Zealand. So for all of those brands, they'll get a New Zealand extension. We are going international for the Style Runner business this year. We've just launched international shipping capability. We're also going to grow into the US for the Style Runner business, which is really exciting. E-commerce, we're focusing on personalization, search and merch, and sort of those features and functionality enhancements as we do these replatforms. We currently use Magento and Velox PWA We're also going to be launching Shopify sites this year. So we're starting a third stream with a third platform, and we're going to start to reorganize some of our sites across those platforms. Big job. When it comes to the digital marketing space, continuing to grow into new channels, sort of that media diversification and channel diversification strategy, partnerships and affiliates are really important, as are influencers and collaborators. Social's got a lot of runway to go for us.
Work from home life, it's all part of it.
Do the kids have to be dressed?
No, it's real, it's authentic.
It's real. Sorry. And then in the CRM and loyalty space, we've got a lot of new programs about to roll out. So we've just launched Skechers loyalty program. We've got Hype and Platypus that are about to go live. A couple more of the smaller brands we've got loyalty programs ready to go for. The big strategic initiative for us is the customer data platform. So we're putting in place a central brain around customer, and all of the touch points will feed into that, and that'll give the CRM and loyalty team as well as the marketing team huge amounts of information to draw on.
And you get special assistants as well.
Yeah, we do, yes. The cheer squad.
No, that's great. That gives us a really good overview. I mean, it's such a huge scope there, right, in terms of your remit and the team's remit. This might be asking you what your favorite child is, but do you have a favorite brand under the Accent Group umbrella?
Oh, that is hard. I think there's, one brand that we know has got a huge amount of potential is the Star Runner business. We acquired that business around 18 months ago, I would say, and very quickly we got good responses from, opening stores, investing in the brand, getting the brand out there again. I think this working from home life we have really lends itself to the product and that lifestyle piece as well. And it's got international capability, so there is a lot of focus there. The glue business we've just acquired as well, and there's probably another 8 brands within that sort of portfolio that have got huge amounts of potential. But you asked for one.
This could turn into a viral video, actually.
I'm totally cheating.
No, that is awesome. We really appreciate you taking the time to give us a little bit of an insight into what life at Accent's like and what your priorities are, and to give everyone a kind of a feeling into what you're like as a leader and what's happening. So thank you very much for taking the time, Casey.
Pleasure. It was great. Thank you.
Now, it's no surprise that was recorded during lockdown, and who doesn't love mid-meeting barge-ins from the young ones? But it's actually the number one reason that we love working with Accent Group. The team there are so real, and what Casey said around looking for friendly people, we've placed a few roles in there, and I can confirm that they are lovely people and they're attracted to friendly people as well. So if you're after a big business that is genuinely people-focused and real, Accent Group's a great hit. The second reason that we love this opportunity is that if you're after career progression and a path, this is a perfect organization to do it in. Where you go in at Accent Group is not necessarily where you come out. You heard from Casey there around all the different brands that they're working across in all the different territories. So we're expanding now internationally. And then offices in Sydney and Melbourne. There are so many opportunities in this $1 billion organization. It's incredible that the opportunity will open up for you. The third one, and we heard it from Casey then, is that they have the support for digital, e-commerce and CRM from the executive team down. And if you actually Google Accent Group and e-commerce or Accent Group and CRM, you will see a huge amount of industry press and articles that's showing the direction for them. It is truly a priority. In fact, if you go to their listing, their public ASX listing, which I think is AX1, their code, and download their latest annual report, you will see how much emphasis that they put on digital, CRM, and e-commerce. It isn't just lip service. There's a real omni-channel story and leadership in that story happening. So I think it's a really great opportunity. If you're interested, make sure you reach out and talk to us more about it. We'll be able to give you more details, and we'd love to put you forward.